at LendingTree.com. Plus, get the best deal or we'll pay you $1,000. Call LendingTree at 1-800-555-TREE today.
The new My Bud Light bottle. Now you can use a key or a coin to write your name, your number, or whatever you're into. It's the latest innovation in social networking. Here we go.
The Barclays Premier League is on ESPN2.
What a goal! Absolutely incredible.
Tomorrow, American star Clint Dempsey leads Fulham in a battle against Sunderland, with both teams fighting to stay clear of relegation.
What a hit!
The Barclays Premier League, Sunderland versus Fulham. Tomorrow at 9:55 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2, ESPN3.com, and ESPN Deportes.
My early desires to work in golf started when I was a freshman in high school. From high school, I went on to a four-year university, and then I got...
In the Stanley Cup playoffs, the clearest way to witness history is with Cox High Definition. The sharpest shots, the defining saves. History will be made, so get closer to the game. Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs all month long with Cox HD and Versus.
Watch the Stanley Cup playoffs in amazing high def. Go to Cox.com to sign up for HD service today.
They say the average person will own 12 cars in their lifetime. So ask yourself, which car will you remember? Get 2.9% financing on the 2011 IS250. See your Lexus dealer.
Lots of fans enjoying night 2 of the NFL Draft from the Bud Light Fan Zone here at Radio City Music Hall. The Minnesota Vikings are on the clock, and they were one of the stories yesterday when the quarterbacks came off fast and furious. And, I mean, you had to think about it. Well, whoops, that was not where we were going. That was Detroit. They're next. The Minnesota Vikings, and I didn't say it yesterday, but you had to think long and hard about Christian Ponder. So they thought about it, they pondered it, and they picked him, which surprised a lot of folks. But, I mean, here's Minnesota with where are they going quarterback-wise. So that was one of the surprises. There they are.
To announce the Minnesota Vikings selection, please welcome from the University of Pittsburgh, the 4th overall pick in the 1985 draft by the Minnesota Vikings, defensive end Chris Stolman.
Thank you. With the 43rd pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Kyle Rudolph, tight end, Notre Dame.
So there's the first tight end that we have selected, and he was expected to be the first tight end, Mel. But we had Steve Jordan in the house yesterday. Why not pick a tight end for the Vikings?
Well, I'll tell you what. I thought Arizona would look at him needing a tight end like they do. 6'6", 258 pounds. I'll compare him to Todd Heap. This kid had a basketball background in high school, was a star on the hardwood. School's all-time leading rebounder, second leading scorer. I like that. You like those basketball players turn tight end. That's what Kyle Rudolph was. At Notre Dame, 3 straight years of productivity till this season. 6 games, final 6 games, out with a hamstring injury. There were concerns about that. Philly had his pro day. Good, strong workout. Kid can run. He's got great hand-eye coordination. Natural receiver. Had a huge game against Michigan and a big game against Michigan State early on this year. You can do a lot of things, John, with this guy within the framework of your offense.
Well, you can do a lot of things with not only Rudolph, but you throw in Schenko, their other tight end, and Kleinsasser, their H-back. I know Bill Musgrave is one of the kings of deception. He comes out of Atlanta. They're going to use a lot of 2 and 3 tight end sets for Adrian Peterson. They want to get Schenko out in space, throw him the ball. You need to keep one of these tight ends in the quarter pass protected times. I think Rudolph is a classic tight end in the making, provided that he can stay healthy. I think he's going to be a good blocker and a solid receiver He's a good pick for Minnesota.
Another point here we have to make, Minnesota Vikings were one of those teams we thought about for Daquan Bowers. Thought about him in the first round. Projections had him maybe going to Minnesota. Detroit Lions coming up now. They would be another. Now they went Nick Fairley in the first round. They have a big need at corner. They also have a need at outside linebacker. But Daquan Bowers, he's 4-3 team. He's going to keep passing on Daquan Bowers. You hate to see that, but right now we're in almost the middle of the second round. He's still on the board.
Well, so the Minnesota Vikings, remember Leslie Frazier took over in the middle of the year, went 3-3, succeeding Brad Childress. So Leslie, the new head coach, they saw it all last year. I mean, the dome collapsed, aging roster, Brett Favre, Randy Moss. So they're trying to get some stability. Now, speaking of stability, let's stay in the Norris division, the NFC North, where favorite pick yesterday was the Detroit Lions. But you figured with Ndamukong Suh, well, the one thing they're not going to do is go defensive tackle. With them going Nick Fairley, here's what I thought. They're going for greatness at one part of the football field. Suh and Fairley, the Detroit Lions? Like, this is a team that played above, forget the record. They're in all the games. They're on the come. They're on Monday Night Football, home against the Bears. I just find Detroit one of the intriguing teams as we move forward into 2011. See, I know we don't know if Matthew Stafford, you know, John, he just may be one of those guys who just may never be healthy. I don't know. Let's hope not. We'd like to see him play. So it's Detroit now with just a short time left. Now, wait a minute. We're live with Titus Young. Well, what do you think that means?
I like this guy.
Boise State, baby. The real Broncos.
You know, this guy scored 21 touchdowns in the last 2 years at Boise State. They know how to throw the football. This guy didn't run quite as fast as I had hoped. I kind of hoped he ran to Deshaun Jackson 4.30, Mel, but this guy's got heat on game day. He's an outstanding punt returner, and you put him in a tight slot, this guy can go anywhere he wants fast. And I think to go with Calvin Johnson, who's one of the premier receivers in football, you get another Blazer on the other side with Burleson working inside. I'd want to play quarterback for the Lions.
Well, helping out Matthew Stafford. I think you look at Titus Young, you think about the wide receiver position. We had 3 in the first round. This is a first wide receiver in round 2 that will come off the board with Titus Young. You still have some good ones out there in a pass-happy league. That's a bit of a surprise. Randall Cobb, Kentucky. Leonard Hankerson, Miami of Florida. A lot of good receivers out there. Titus Young, the kick return ability is a huge plus. The speed, he's not Deshaun Jackson's 4.25. He's a 4.4 guy, but certainly Kellen Moore, the outstanding lefty, southpaw at Boise State, who was a Heisman Trophy candidate this year. He benefited from having Titus Young. And the other receiver, the possession guy, Austin Pettis from Boise State, he'll probably be one of those third-round picks that helps the football team this year.
Now, Coach Peterson, you know, he's a fabulous coach. Calls Titus Young one of the smartest players he's ever coached.
To announce the Detroit Lions selection, please welcome, from Oklahoma State University, the 3rd overall pick in the 1989 draft by the Lions, Hall of Fame running back, Barry Sanders.
With the 44th pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Titus Young, wide receiver, Boise State.
Listen to the crowd for a minute. Barry Sanders, like Gale Sayers, remains one of the most popular nationwide folks. This is New York, and that was Barry Sanders. Now, how about Titus Young?
Oh, look at Titus Young. He's not the biggest receiver. He and Calvin Johnson, they'll look like 2 different guys in these Lion uniforms. But here's a guy, you want to see burst? You want to see some acceleration, pick up some Boise State tape. You get some one-on-one coverages, he can get by you in a hurry. He's a consistent week in and week out, big-time playmaker. I've seen him go up against Utah and beat Burton Mel. I saw him play big in big games. And what I like about him the most is he can stretch the field, and you put him on that souped-up AstroTurf in Detroit, he's going to even be faster. What do you think?
They drop the ball every now and then, so ratchet up that concentration level. That was a huge catch that they thought won the game for them against Nevada when he made that catch late in that football game. You see him here as a kick returner, explosive kid. He is a playmaker in every sense of that word, and I think when you look at the Deshaun Jackson comparisons, maybe, John, a little exaggerated. Deshaun Jackson was 4.25. This kid's in that 4.4 range, but as a versatile, multi-dimensional weapon, when you already have Nate Burleson and Calvin Johnson, two excellent players. And Burleson's a very underrated player.